Aim of the experiment: to study the reaction of sodium hydroxide with aluminum and hydrochloric acid. Theory: sodium hydroxide is a strong base and is also commonly known as an alkali. It reacts with aluminum metal to produce hydrogen gas and follows the chemical equation shown here. Sodium hydroxide also reacts with a mineral acid such as hydrochloric acid in what is known as a neutralization reaction to produce sodium chloride salt and water. This neutralization reaction is an example of an acid-base reaction, which in turn is a type of double displacement reaction that we have covered in detail in a previous video under types of chemical reactions. The reaction is as shown here. Materials required: dilute hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide solution, pieces of aluminum metal or aluminum foil, red and blue litmus papers, droppers or measuring pipettes, test tubes, test tube holder, some wooden splints, and a matchbox or lighter. Procedure: take a small piece of aluminum metal or crumble up a sheet of aluminum foil into a loose stick or ball, like so, and place it in a clean and dry test tube. Add about 5 to 10 ml of sodium hydroxide solution to it. Record your observations. Also note the color of the gas liberated. Perform a smell test on the gas liberated by fanning the gas gently towards your nose. Record your observation. Perform a combustion test by bringing a lighted splint near to the mouth of the test tube. Record your observations. The procedure for this reaction has already been covered in detail in a previous video. The link is in the description below. Observations: sodium hydroxide reacts with aluminum metal to produce a brisk effervescence, which is characterized by an instant and vigorous release of gas bubbles, very much like when you open a bottle of carbonated drink or when you mix soda and an acid. The gas released is colorless, odorless, and neutral in nature. The gas produced also ignites with a characteristic pop sound. If the reaction produces enough gas, the ignited gas may even burn continuously at the mouth of the test tube until the reaction ceases or slows down, as can be seen here. If you collect the gas in a separate clean and dry test tube and perform an ignition test, the gas again ignites with the characteristic pop sound, and you can see a layer of condensation forming on the inner walls of the tube, suggesting that the gas ignites in the presence of atmospheric oxygen to produce water. The reaction between sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid is visually not as dramatic as the brisk effervescent reaction seen when sodium hydroxide reacts with aluminum. However, as you keep on adding more of the hydroxide to the acid, or vice versa, the two reactants silently neutralize each other and eventually lose their acidic or basic characters. This neutralization endpoint is visualized with the help of either a pH paper or blue and red litmus papers. Blue and red litmus remain unchanged in their original colors once the reaction mixture achieves a neutralization point. Results and discussion. A metal hydroxide or alkali reacts with certain metals, also known as amphoteric metals, to form a complex ionic salt along with the release of hydrogen gas. Amphoteric metals are dual nature substances exhibiting both acid and basic properties, and are therefore capable of reacting with either an acid or a base. The reaction between sodium hydroxide and aluminum metal, which is an amphoteric metal, follows the chemical equation shown here. The reaction is a brisk effervescent reaction, and the products formed are sodium aluminate and hydrogen gas. Sodium aluminate is an inorganic ionic compound formed by the combination of sodium metal ions and polyatomic aluminate ions. Hydrogen gas is a colorless, odorless, and tasteless gas and is neutral in pH. It burns in air with a characteristic pop sound to produce water, which is the byproduct of the reaction between hydrogen and oxygen. Dilute acids react with metal hydroxide bases to form the corresponding metal salt of the acid in its aqueous form. The reaction between sodium hydroxide and dilute hydrochloric acid result in the formation of sodium chloride and water. Sodium chloride is a salt and is by nature a pH-neutral substance. As a result of the formation of the metal salt, which is sodium chloride, the two reactants, in this case sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid, lose their basic and acidic characters, and at the end of the neutralization reaction, the products formed no longer impart any change in colors in either blue or red litmus papers.